How's it going, fellow Detroit Red Wings fans? So the upcoming season is upon us. Training camp starts September 23rd, which is a little over 2 weeks away. We will see Red Wings stars like Tyler Bertuzzi, Zadina, Larkin, Vrana, not to mention veterans and newcomers like Stahl, Nedeljkovic, and Leddy. But most importantly, especially for a rebuilding team like the Detroit Red Wings, the youngsters and prospects like Veleno, Berggren, Moritz Seider, Sebastian Cossa, most likely also Kirill Tyutchev, who will be with the Griffins this season. The likes of Albert Johansson, Emil Viro, Simon Evanson aren't a guarantee if they will keep playing and practicing with their European teams or come over to training camp with the Detroit Red Wings. Regardless, one of the biggest names this training camp has to be Lucas Raymond. Raymond is the highest selected Red Wings prospect since the 1990 draft, so obviously expectations will be high for him to make the team, if not out of camp, then later this season. He is listed as an early frontrunner for the 2022 Calder Trophy, but I can see people's doubts about him. He had less points per game in the SHL last season than Eklund and Seider, and while he has shown impressive offensive skills, has he shown better skills than the likes of Zadina, who was lighting the lamp and drafted to be a goal scorer, yet 3 seasons removed from his draft, he has yet to make a big impression. Well, let's dissect this a little bit. I mean, yes, looking at Raymond's numbers blind, they do fit those bills. But let's face it, Zadina's numbers would be very different if he played in the SHL, a men's league, instead of the QMJHL, which is an offensive-focused league full of junior players with a run-and-gun style of play. Eklund was playing on a better team and also averaged a minute more a game than Raymond was, only to earn a point per game average slightly above Raymond's. Seider had a historic season and was named Defenseman of the Year in the SHL and Defenseman of the Tournament at the World Championships. So yeah, Raymond lost to Seider on that one. So once again, we are back to the same question. Should or will Lucas Raymond make the NHL's opening night roster? If it comes down to skill, yeah, I do think he already has the skills to be on the second or third line. Raymond has a high compete drive that makes him an offensive threat even without his excellent stick handling and passing. Let's not even talk about mixing that competitive edge with his quickness and acceleration that allows him to get into those board battles and actually come out with the puck more often than not, which is something to say for a player standing at 5 feet 10 inches, 183 pounds. In terms of development, does it make more sense for him to be playing in the NHL, maybe closer to 14-16 minutes a night, with NHL veterans maybe losing games, but nonetheless playing in the NHL? Or should he go to the AHL and play on the top line, earning much closer to 20 minutes a night, winning games, and maybe going to play in the AHL playoffs with the AHL veterans who have played in the NHL a little bit? Honestly, I don't think it makes sense for the rebuild to put Raymond in the NHL on the second or third line. He is still a very young prospect. He should only be in the NHL if Yzerman thinks he can be a top line winger right now, and should be earning 17 minutes or more on the first line or a dominating second line. And looking at the lineup from our video, he's competing against Filip Zadina, Jakub Vrana, Tyler Bertuzzi, Robbie Fabry, Pia Suter, and fellow prospect Jonathan Berggren for a spot on the top wings. Anything less, he should be in Grand Rapids winning games for them, getting better, refining his game, and preparing to dominate the AHL playoffs and make his way full-time to the NHL roster next season. Regardless, I'm sure we will see Raymond next season in the NHL at some point. His performance in the AHL and against NHLers in the preseason will determine how quickly we see him and for how long. What do you guys think of Lucas Raymond? Does he make the opening night roster? Let us know down below. Red Wing Nation was designed to be a community of Red Wings fans that could come together and talk about all things Red Wings. If you like this video, go ahead and drop a like. That way we make more content that you like. And lastly, don't be afraid to subscribe. That way you get notified when we upload a video. And until next time, lights out in the red light district.